everyone. Thank you so much if you're watching this. This is the very first episode of this little series called Unlock, Locked But Not Down. This is, I'm just the curator of these amazing stories of my friends, colleagues, people across my network, people I've just met who have decided to find an upside to this lockdown. Meaning that they are approaching this situation differently. They are finding creative solutions to the problems. They are being innovative. And a lot of them are being amazingly selfless. So I'm so privileged to have as my first two guests. They're friends of mine. They are a couple. We have friends in common, and I got to know about them through the amazing work that they are doing, which I will go into very soon. But first, let me introduce you to my very first guests. I have with me today Shilpi Sharma. Shilpi, say hi to everyone.
Hi.
And I have Kailash Bhatt.
Hi.
Awesome. So by means of introduction, Shilpi and Kailash are founders of this amazing wedding photography company called Story Monk. So before I go into why they are on this little chat show, if you can call it that, with its, sort of virtual background and stuff, please excuse, because this is a small personal project being done completely, in the spare hours of the night. So Shilpi, Kailash, आप दोनों में से कोई मुझे बताए कि how did Story Monk get started?
I was already a photojournalist. I had worked with a few publications, and I was shooting weddings before I met Kailash, and then his interest in wedding work was growing. We got married and we decided to start working together, and so we gave it a name, Story Monk, and we started shooting weddings together.
Acha, now that the lockdown has happened, guys, so I assume that weddings are obviously not happening. So what's your situation work-wise? Like, what do projects look like, etc.?
For our April weddings, we had some very interesting wedding shoots happening. There was a beautiful wedding that was supposed to take place in Dharamsala. It was a destination wedding.
Wow.
And the couple was coming from Dubai, very excited, had been planning it since like a year, and they had to cancel it.
Yeah,
so,
I can imagine.
There's another wedding which was supposed to happen in Shimla that got cancelled. So April was actually a very exciting month for us. So we were still hoping that it's probably just a very short lockdown. But with each day we realized that this is gonna take a while.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that, because like I know that a lot of jobs you can do while you're at home, mine being one, right? There are a lot that you need to get out to do it, and yours is one of them. But despite this situation that you are facing, which I'm absolutely sure is not easy when all your April projects have either gotten postponed, hopefully not cancelled, right? But there's something amazing that you guys are doing. Which is why I was so interested in talking to you, because I know that between Kailash and you have started this amazing initiative of providing meals to migrant workers, daily wage earners, who are honestly the worst hit right now. So for the context of those that are watching, my friends from outside of India, ever since the lockdown came down upon us in mid-March, there was very little time given to the migrant population, which is in millions. Like there is an estimate that says there is 100 million people that are migrants in India who are just living and working in the big cities. And when the jobs that they do, i.e. cooking at a restaurant or construction, when the lockdown happens and when everything shuts down, they stop getting their daily wages. So where do they go? If you have seen any of the very, very abysmal footage on TV and online about them walking thousands of miles back home, one reason why they do that is they are assured of at least food in their villages, at least a shelter in their villages. They're not assured of that in the cities where they live and work, because their livelihood depends upon the daily wage that they get. And Delhi, where Kailash and Shilpi are actually based, probably has one of the biggest migrant population from around the neighboring states. So I want to know from Kailash, what happened on that day जब आपने decide किया what did you see जब आपने decide किया कि you needed to do something, and tell me that moment of inspiration. What happened?
So I think the day I decided this, like the just day before, I was talking to my friend. He has a restaurant in Dehradun, and he has a like 100 people staff, and they all gone to their villages and everything. So he was sharing a story with me, like how things are affecting to his business also. So and he shared his part. Yeah, I really want to do something for these guys. Like you still can do, right? Like you can, maybe if you don't want to step out, you can just contribute some money to it, and maybe somebody definitely out there doing something. Just contribute your money to it. And so I thought, why someone else? Why I'm telling him to you can contribute money to someone else. You maybe I'll start and you contributed to in my initiative. So I asked him, do you wanna like chip in some money to it? He said, yeah, why not? So this is the idea started. Then the next day I saw one of our friend like follow me. She's like a journalist. She covered a story where like she was coming from I think Agra to Delhi on a highway, and she saw a lot of migrants are walking, and she encountered with these people, and she asked कि कहाँ जा रहे हो, कहाँ पे, किस लिए, and they were start asking कि मैडम पानी है तो पानी दे दो, and it was an Instagram story which she posted. तो उसने कहा पानी तो नहीं है बट आप जा कहाँ रहे हो टाइप से, there was a story जो मैंने देखा online. And then I realized कि it's a really bad like situation out there. Let's just do something with it. And so I thought I'll chip in 10,000 rupees from my side, and one of my friend is ready to chip in 10,000 rupees, and I start calling one or two more friends ki if you guys really interested to do that. They also said ki yeah, why not 5,000, 10,000, 2,000. So ऐसे करता करते I think we collected almost 35,000 rupees.
Okay.
So I thought 35,000 rupees, I think we can manage week with 500 meal a day. So it was starting from like 500 meals a day for the like maybe a week we can run this thing. And then Shilpi like taken a really good step. She said, "Ki chalo, I'll do something with it." And she I was on the front end where I was managing food, like cook vessels and everything. And Shilpi took a really good stand on it, and she started taking like online posts and asking friends around. Even she asking my friends and her friends also, and they all start contributing toward this initiative. So there was a like after a point the confidence grown higher and higher. Now we have a lot of people with us who really want to do something. We might increase the meal, like not only 500. Let's just do something else altogether.
Yeah.
So karte like we start distributing dry ration. Then we think we give what do you call uh, sanitary pads.
Okay.
We distributed sanitary pads in like Nizamuddin. So like, and there was one friend who worked for disaster management. She was helping us with the data where like whenever it's, like there was some kind of a needy group in some area.
Okay.
She was called us and tell us ki this is the area where a lot of people are these people are really want some help.
Okay.
And so this is how it started.
Kailash, you make it sound बहुत आसान, but I have so many questions. Let me ask them. When I saw you first do that, and when Yosha actually posted about it, and I went and looked at Shilpi's post, तब तक I think आपका Facebook page live नहीं हुआ था, so it was basis the Yosha's post and Shilpi's post. मेरे सवाल थे, आपको डर नहीं लगा first of all अपने health and safety के लिए? That's number one. Second of all, to take on cooking meals for 500 people, is no mean feat, right? Because लोगों के लिए घर पे 2 लोगों के लिए खाना बनाने में मतलब काफी हालत खराब हो जाती है, but you decided कि 500 लोगों के लिए आपको करना है. Third question in my head was, how did you know where to find those 500 people? Fourth question in my mind was, if you found them, how did you find the place to cook? How did you find it, that the logistics to distribute it? Because आप cook तो कर लिए, मतलब even with the help of like a cook or two, how are you going to take it to all those people? So आपने बहुत आसान, like it's almost like you woke up and you're like this Robin Hood who decided to do this. But for our viewers, just help us understand कि कैसे आप, where did you find the first 500 people? Like, is it your friend who told you where to find them? How did you go about taking the food with you on the first day, on the second day?
Okay,
Okay,
so
can I add to something before Kailash goes on? So the way he's narrating it is not the way it actually happened. He's like, oh, I asked my friend and all of that. Yes, he did. In his third call, he was talking to me and I was like, yeah, okay, let's do this. Before I could put my head to it, he had already been making this. It was not that simple. He was on calls. It's not just about contribution, about, okay, where do we get the vessels? He called up his neighbor, then another one, because he knew that they have some space. And so he was making a lot of calls. And we were, while people, one or two people had said that, yeah, we'll also contribute, we were not sure if that'll come. Okay, so, but he was at it. He did not wait. He just took their word for it, because he was the one who was more keen on doing this and starting it off immediately. So he was not waiting for anyone. He knew that time is crucial. This has to go out by tomorrow. So he made his calls. If someone said, oh, I had this place, but I cannot give it now, he went to another place. And, while his volunteer pass was being figured out, he just moved out without it, because he was like, we will see. Other police will like, bajao danda, I will see. But I need to be out to actually make this work. So he was actually out on his bike. He was figuring things out. Obviously not keeping me in the loop, because I was like, look, the cops are hitting guys on who are coming out. You don't want to be bajauda danda. So he was like, no, it's all under control. I'm going through these by lanes and all of it. So he made a lot of calls. He kept calling people. He was out there, not worried about, that the cops are not letting people move around. He's like, I'll figure. And next thing, they had vessels picked up. He was on his bike. My car is stuck with me in this lockdown. I'm in a different city. Figured the gas cylinder for cooking. Went to some cook's house, got him, arranged for all of that, because the logistics are initially they were very difficult to put them together and ensure that the first meal is out by late evening. So he did all of that, and in the meantime, I was like calling people and asking if they'd be interested, because for us it was like, if we can increase the number of these meals, like first batch, yes, we can manage with like a few people who decided they're going to help out. But so he was just, there was a lot of groundwork, he and his so he is making it sound very easy, but I know that for the next few days he barely slept, because it was physically exerting. Shops had run out of dry ration because of the lockdown. People had bought out all the everything that was in the market. So he went to the shopkeepers he knew around, because we don't have their numbers. So he went, or on the shutters there were these numbers written, or he would knock and be like, I need some dry ration for cooking. All of that happened in the next 24 hours. And so while I was sending messages to people that, hey, look, we're doing this, he was ensuring it's happening.
Yeah.
Right? Because, so the parking lot got cleared up. His very good friend stepped in. His wife was supportive. She helped out, he also moved out, and we were, so yeah, it was, he was not so worried about, oh, something will happen to him. his focus was that these meals have to go out now because they need to eat.
Right.
And so there was a lot that went into it in the next 24 hours,
Yeah.
which, and some, for some reason, sometimes he wouldn't even share it with me because he would, you know how it is, the time is such that he didn't want to be demotivated or be like, okay, take it slow.
Yeah.
You know, he wouldn't give me accurate updates. And then when it was going out is when I like received a call saying, oh, it's happening and it's going, and
So
all of
for,
that.
so for our viewers, I want to sum this up. In the span of 24 hours, Kailash realized something needs to be done because there are people around him who don't have food, who haven't eaten, and who are probably going to either starve or have to walk, I don't know how many thousands of kilometers to escape the city that they live in, because the city that they live in has suddenly shut down and so has their income. He decides he needs to do something. He asks some close, he makes, I don't know, thousands of calls. He ropes in a couple of friends who help out, who chip in money for the initial sort of the project to kickstart. He manages to rope in one or two people who can help him with the cooking. He manages to find a parking space in a building which is cleaned out, made hygienic, and ready for the cooking. Please also remember that cooking for 500 people needs a particular size of vessels. It needs skills. It needs the kind of oven, or as we use in India, gas cylinders that need to be procured. And the most important thing it needs is the raw ingredients. Now, given how we have all witnessed across the world this need to hoard stuff that all of us have, it's a very human reaction to an uncertain circumstance. But imagine in that situation, Kailash did not think about his own food or his own groceries, but he knocked on shopkeepers' doors to find groceries for the meals. So on the first day, and I remember having chatted with Shilpi on the first day, they were already serving 500 people. Just for a minute, understand what this means. It means that 500 people did not go hungry on that day because essentially one man decided that they are not going to go hungry on that day. And he pulled out all the stops. So this is amazing. If this is what inspiration looks like right now. So I just want to congratulate you guys for that. Tell me right now, where are you at? I know that the meals have really gone up. Tell me about the increased number of meals that you are serving. Do you have more volunteers? How are you distributing? And you have also started giving dry ration to people. And I think Shilpi shared this with me. The first time you delivered a meal was delivered the meals was on your bike. So let's add more spice to the story. Shilpi and Kailash are right now stranded in two very different parts of the National Capital Region. Kailash is in Delhi, which is the capital city, and Shilpi is in Ghaziabad. And the car stuck with her, so they didn't even have a car. So from there to start, that was the challenge you faced on day one and day two. Where are you now on, I don't know, it's been 3 weeks if I'm not mistaken. Where are you now? Has it gotten any easier? How are you coping? What does the project look like right now?
So we decided to make khichdi, and it's like khichdi with a little dry rather than like liquidy.
Okay.
So that it didn't spill like while taking on the bike.
Right.
So yeah, so I ride my bike. My friend who holded this vessel. So some of one guy was crossing us. He just recorded this video for us, and I asked him, मुझे वो video दे दो. So that's why we have this video where I was, after distributing that khichdi, we were coming back, and the guy was recording us. So, so it definitely was a very different, tough day. We started around 12 o'clock our day, and we finished by I think 1 o'clock at night.
Wow.
So then there was next day I got my pass, volunteer pass through my friend.
Yeah.
So then there was a little bit of confidence कि अब मुझे पुलिस वाले नहीं रोक सकते.
Okay.
Otherwise, there was a thought in your back head कि हाँ कुछ ना कुछ तो मैं
पकड़
कभी ना
लेंगे.
कभी तो बोलेंगे
हाँ.
कि कहाँ जा रहे हो, ऐसे तुम पतीला लेके कहीं भी निकल जाओगे क्या?
Correct, correct.
एंड सो था थोड़ा सा माइंड के अंदर कि ये
हाँ.
कैसे होने वाला है, बट somehow it's just managed कि हो गया. And yeah, it's like I was lucky enough to have Shilpi who took a stand to collect all the fund, and there was very good friends who just I think when I shared my idea with them ki this is the whole idea, this is what we are trying to do, they immediately said yes ki ha chalo let's do it.
Huh. I know.
So yeah.
I know. And
Also, he had his very good friend Honey,
yeah.
who who stepped out, who was willing to go out and do the things that were required. So that it also worked as a big moral support.
Yeah. And
yeah.
and Shilpi, you were saying something about like the volunteer pass. That's something that everyone trying to help should get, right? The logistics is an equally important part. Though even after you have cooked, how do you take this food? So you were saying that one of your friends also helped out with a vehicle initially, right?
So basically, the same friend from disaster management, because she was getting these calls, so she was, apart from the meals, she was also sending them to these remote areas and being like, this one needs dry ration. Can you guys pick and drop? Can you drop something? And then when the meal distribution time came, she was the one who spoke to the area councillor, I think.
Okay.
And his vehicle was arranged, and then one day they had to pick up something from Sheikh Sarai. One of these places, Kailash, which was that place?
Khanpur.
From Khanpur, they had to pick up something from Khanpur and then go to Jamia very late in the night to drop dry ration, because there was some volunteer there who reported about that, people here do not have food. So they hopped on to their bike and went to that place. He made a call, asked someone, and so our landlord in Hoskas village, he offered his car,
Okay.
which was a savior, because the amount of dry ration they took, it couldn't have been done on the bike. And
more than 300 kgs, I think the dry ration we put it into a dicky and distributed to Jamia.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, you guys. So tell me now, what does a typical day look like for you? I want to start with Shilpi. Walk me through the fund management that you're doing, how you're using Facebook as a platform to spread awareness about this, and what have been some high and low moments for you, Shilpi, in this?
Actually, so I was very, I was not, I'm not very active in social media. I'm very social generally, but I am very, I'm not, so I was like not even checking my Facebook regularly. I would go in months to like just check. This happened, and I knew that was the fastest way to reach everyone around globally. So I quickly started sending messages through WhatsApp Messenger to friends, family. Then I posted it on Facebook. I got immediate response. People, there were friends who picked up my post and reposted it and reshared it. And I was taken in by how social media can work. Like something I have never been very, I always thought that social media is just like, one of those distractions in life.
Right.
It contributed. I mean, it was a huge relief in terms of how we could reach out to people so quickly, and the response that we received. And I don't think there's been a low. It's only been a big learning curve for me
Hmm.
see how just to see humanity, just to see the people sitting in far off countries also responded immediately, like from Hong Kong and from Australia, from UK, Singapore, everyone, because they could see what was happening,
Yeah.
and they immediately reached out with their support.
Yeah.
And huge learning curve. I have a lot of respect for social media now. And yeah, so it is, I was discovering tools on Instagram, how to connect stories, the whole it just so my mornings would like start at any odd hour, like it would start any time between 5 to 6 a.m.
Wow.
And then I would go on till like as late as I could, because people from different parts of the country and around the world were messaging because they wanted to contribute or find out more about what we were doing. And so I wanted to just be, available with the information they needed.
Yeah.
So yeah, so my entire day would actually go on WhatsApp and Instagram and Facebook,
Yeah.
updating the little information everyone needed, or how they could help, and to keep them updated on what
The
are we
progress.
doing now. Yeah,
Yeah. No,
and
actually,
also like sure.
sorry, go for it.
Also, if like there was anything that we needed, then I would like quickly reach out to a friend and ask that how can we resolve this,
Yeah.
so things like that. So in terms of food, people were like telling us that if you try this meal, this will be faster, healthier. So we were receiving a lot of inputs from people, not only just a contribution, they were like really, so it was a very united effort. It felt like, the community just came together from all over the world to
Hmm.
support. And for me, each moment was then invested only towards this. So I could have I have barely watched TV, Netflix, barely. Like it's just not taking my interest. Like I will just go on. For me, I'm constantly checking my phone, or be in touch with Kailash and those on field if there's anything that's needed.
Yeah.
So it has been actually very very uh, deeply satisfying. Like these are things that we carry in our heart, that one day we want to do something for the community. One day we shall do something.
Yeah.
One day, maybe one day when I have a little more time. And this happened and it needed immediate action.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is that one day, if some of us really need to be out there, so that those who want to be a part of it can also contribute,
Yeah.
like because we became a medium for them to reach out to the daily wagers. And
Yes.
that was a very that was an overwhelming feeling. Like it was really overwhelming that we became a medium for everyone to reach out to
Yeah.
them with their help. Yeah.
So you put it so beautifully. Like I don't know, I don't have anything to add except that for our viewers, I want to add that Shilpi does an amazing job of managing the Facebook page. Oftentimes what happens that when the rest of us that can be, seated comfortably at home while Kailash and Shilpi do all of this on behalf of us, we often wonder, where the money went, how it was deployed. So I invite you to like her Facebook page, and we'll give you the details of it later. But essentially what she does is pretty much every 2-3 hours she's updating with what's going on the field, and it feels like you are there with them. She was also very responsive when I reached out to her saying I wanted to contribute, and I roped in a couple of my colleagues and friends to contribute. So I'm a big believer in the good of social media if you use it right. And I feel that the way social media has literally done its job this time. It has brought us closer. It has. I feel like it lowers the barriers. You can be from anywhere, and I felt like I could connect with Shilpi very, 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 very quickly. Coming to Kailash, you have been like essentially obviously doing the cooking, the distribution. Additionally, aapne the dry ration ka responsibility also you have taken. I don't even know what 300 kgs of ration looks like. But tell me, कब शुरू होता है दिन, कब खत्म होता है, एंड हाइज एंड लोज क्या है दिन में?
So it's start around 10 o'clock every day, like where cook comes and he start like cook and the helper of cook, he
Yeah.
come and start washing the vessels and everything. Then cook start gradually making his list कि भैया ये चीजें चाहिए,
Okay.
मुझे टमाटर चाहिए, मुझे मसाला चाहिए, मुझे गैस चाहिए, मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे वो चाहिए. And thing is now this is not a regular day where he tell us कि ये मुझे चाहिए और हम बहुत जल्दी उसको अरेंज कर पाए.
Yeah.
Like it's everything is locked down.
Yes.
So then like there is lot of connections comes in place कि कौन सी चीज कहाँ पे मिल पाएगी and कौन हमें ये चीज दे पाएगा.
जी.
So like when we like when we think of distributing food, the first thing came in our mind कि हम राशन लेके किसमें जाएंगे, that cook food किस में लेके जाएंगे.
Correct.
So then like cook suggested कि घर में अगर ड्रम पड़े हैं जो पुराने वाले राशन ड्रम्स होते हैं
जी.
लाइक जनरली घरों में होते हैं, so वो वाले अगर कुछ है तो वो लेके आ जाओ.
जी.
And these days everybody has a very small families, like hardly 4 people 5 people, so उनके घर में we have a very small little vessels. Somehow I have these kind of vessels in my place. I
What
got
have you
them
been
like
hoarding, Kailash?
There are two of them which came when we got married because there's a whole ritual. There's some
Correct. I thought as much.
that also got added, and he had already in his family. Like these are all like from there.
Correct. Then you use those.
So I use those big drums, ration wala drums. So this is how the days start generally with the lot of. Now I just got calls कि आज Sunday है, सारे gas agencies close हैं. So how we get the cylinder today?
So I told you to speak to my mama, you know.
Yeah.
He said
So
anytime. You need
so
it.
yes, we need it. So there was the second thought in my mind कि आज cylinder सब बंद है, तो हमारे लिए cylinder कौन arrange कर सकता है? That's Shilpi's mama.
Okay.
He has a agency, a gas cylinder agency. Now today we gonna use his services. So so this is the whole planning start कि कौन आज ये चीज कर सकता है.
जी.
So this is how we do it every day, and then like it's end with like all the cleaning that space again, so that we can make next day with the like a little cleaning process, not to do a lot of cleaning in all together.
Right.
Kind of a thing.
Kailash, cooking में कितना time लग जाता है?
So we have only one like burner. So because all the tent houses are shut down, so किसी ने हमें दिया नहीं. We just got one burner which given by I think Gurdwara.
Okay.
So we have to keep putting our vessels to it, and like first we make rice. Sometimes we make rice and dal separately, or sometimes we make khichdi. So first we make all the rice, which I think 75 kgs of rice. So that took I think 4 hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and wash those rice, and then put a dal to it. Then dal takes again 4 hours. So it took 8 hours cooking, and then it's a distribution time.
And then packing and distribution.
Yeah, packing and distribution is it's not a very like time taking, because once he make that rice, he start putting in 2 vessels, like with these small drums and these kind of vessels. And then once he made the dal, there's again drums which kept there, he start pouring into it.
Okay.
And then the transport, like the counselor send his car, and this is the heaviest part I think for us. There is a lot of energy in it, like involved in it. These drums are so heavy. One person can't lift it. Like we need 2 or 3% to lift this drum. And जहाँ पे ये parking है, वहाँ से road is like kind of 100 meter away. So we have to lift it,
Oh
those
my
drums
God.
without any grip. उनके अंदर कोई grip नहीं होता है. You know, like so somehow we have to use like paper or some kind of like cotton to hold these drums and put those drum into this car. Well, like, it's a jeep
Okay.
actually, open
Yeah.
jeep. So open jeep के अंदर we have to put it. And there's only one jeep, and we have almost 13-14 vessels to keep in this jeep. So sometimes we have to arrange it in a way कि सारे vessels उसके अंदर आ जाए.
हाँ.
Otherwise वो like while riding वो गिर भी सकते हैं. तो
हाँ. But
नुकसान ज़्यादा हो जाए.
tell me something. आप कितने locations में जाते हो? Like in the course of your distribution, how many locations are you going to?
So this is one location which is fixed, which is like Lashpur Nagar Gadi area.
हाँ.
And the rest of the areas, like, you know, my friend who work for disaster management, she always told us कि इस area में आज ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है. So if you have an extra spare food, which always we have,
Okay.
so then we send it to other areas. Like 2 days, I think, like 1 or 2 days before we send it to one. It's a like there is every day it's a new area. Like some days Jamias,
Okay.
some days like some other areas. So like ऐसे करके.
Okay.
And there was few areas जहाँ पे विकासपुरी is one area जहाँ पे हमने उनको almost 200 kg of rice and 100 kgs of dal उनको already दे दिया है. And these guys has a setup to they can cook their own food and they're like, you know, distributing from their own.
Okay. Okay.
So we don't need to go.
Okay. And tell me, in terms of meals, you are up to 2,000 meals now on a daily basis, plus some dry ration supply.
2,000 cooking, like cooked meal, and there is almost every day we distributing, I think, 20 odd dry ration packets, which is one dry ration is for 15 days.
Okay.
So every day 20 families get these dry ration.
Just between, I think there are 3 or 4 of you now. You are cooking hot meals for 2,000 people in a day. You are distributing dry ration for 20 families in addition to it. There is one spot in Lajpat Nagar where people come and take that cooked food, but there are 2 other locations, Hoskas and Vikaspuri, that you have already given dry ration where they have the capability to cook and feed themselves. I don't know if you have that number, Shilpi or Kailash, but if you had to put a number to how many people you are impacting on a daily basis, what would be your guess? Or how many families, how many people, however you want to look at it?
So I calculated one day. So like 20 packet in a one day. So it's mean 4 people in one family. It's mean kind of odd like 80 people.
80 people.
This way. Yeah, 80 people in this way. 2,000 people which get cooked food from our side.
Yeah.
And 2 areas where we already distributed dry ration.
Yeah.
They have almost I think one area Vikaspuri has 2,000 people again. They cooking these meals and distributing. So we gave them one hafte ka ration, 1 week ka ration, which is like 200 kgs of rice and 100 kgs of dal. And again same thing in Hoskas village. Hoskas village has I think 400 families who taking these meals every day. So 2,000 plus 2,000 plus 80 plus 400. So I think it's somewhere around 4,000 people.
No, I think it's more. Like imagine just between you guys, you are pretty much saving close to 4,000 to 5,000 lives, man. Like, I don't know, like if there was a good karma, it better come to you in like, you know, spades. So it's not easy because, you know, while I haven't lived in India for a while now, I came back last year and I realized how all of the things that you're doing, why I'm going into details is getting the groceries at this stage is so tough. Getting a gas cylinder is so tough. guys, if you can help with burners, if you can help with vessels, or if you can help just volunteering or helping them cook, please come forward. Their Facebook page is called Lockdown Meals for Migrant and Daily Wage Workers, and if anybody is interested, I'm very happy to put you in touch with Shilpi and Kailash, because if there is any way you can help, either with money or with resources or your own time, that is the entire point of bringing them to the limelight. If I may ask, how much does one day of this operation end up costing you guys, Shilpi? Like, if let's say someone were to sponsor 5 days for you, what is the amount of money that they're looking at? Or if someone is going to sponsor one day for you, what does that look like?
On an average, our approximate daily cost is 10,000 rupees.
Okay, cool. This
Yeah.
is helpful for those of you looking to contribute. Please do remember, you can choose to contribute that entire sum, nothing like it, or if you can choose to contribute even partially, it'll help. Like you guys have already mentioned it. Sorry, Kailash.
So there's one part I think which I want to mention is we really need volunteer hands rather than they contributed money to it.
Yeah.
Because right now we are only 3 people, like my 2 friends who like helping me in this whole thing. So we definitely short on hands where there is lot of heavy stuff which we have to lift it every day.
Right. Kailash, just for everyone's clarification, your cooking happens in Safdarjung Enclave, or where does it happen?
It is in Southern Enclave, in my friend's parking.
Yeah. So my point to everyone watching here would be, you guys, you end up ordering. I know that some restaurants are open for delivery and delivery through the third party apps, etc. So if you know of anyone that has a restaurant that can even give them the 4 or 8 hours that they need, and I'm assuming if that there are more number of ovens or burners, the cooking time can be reduced. Please do help to spread the word, because I think what they're doing is incredible. And if it's a matter of managing hours by the restaurant, they are not functional through and through. So if these guys can get even 4 to 5 hours there, it's not only just much easier for them, it's safer for them, it's and of course it's just easier for everyone around. So I'm just gonna reach out to my network to see if there's anyone that can help with that. So I mean, despite all of this, right, like how does it feel? I'm going to ask Shilpi first. After all of this, like when you go to sleep at night, I know you said something about it feels like this needed to be done and you're doing it, and all of us keep waiting for that day, and that day never really comes till you make it the day. So when you go to sleep exhausted at night, answering all sorts of calls, doing the sort of social media publicity around it, tell me that one feeling that comes to you when you wrap things up for the day.
Well, I certainly every day I hope that the team is healthy, safe, that the food is nourishing to everyone is reaching out to. Everyone's back home safe, their families are safe, our volunteers. And I am tired, but it's that happy tiredness. Like it's that, I don't have the word for it. It's just, there is this deep sense of satisfaction. I feel very, very proud that, like Kailash kickstarted it, because had he not, we would have been doing, just something to keep ourselves busy. So it's definitely very, very heartwarming to see that someone, I know my husband who started it, friends joined in, and yeah, there is definitely a deep sense of satisfaction. And every day I hope that we're reaching out to the right people, the right areas, and figuring, like I'm always thinking in the night, how can we expand this? How can we increase our reach?
Yeah.
Because there are millions out there.
Yeah.
So and also it's kind of it's made me understand how close knit we are as a community. Humanity is in everyone's heart. Very unexpected people came up with help.
Yeah.
Somehow we just live in our own bubble. We're just living our own lives. Here, everyone stepped in, and it was. And I kept wondering if I would have been able to do what some of the people are currently doing for us, just with that blind faith that we are doing something in this. In these times of crisis, the faith that they showed in us, it kind of makes you believe in people once again, believe in humanity. For me, it's definitely made me, kind of believe in the hope of making life better for everyone around us instead of just keeping it
for ourselves.
career focused and just the daily grind of how it is. So for me, I don't know if I could sum it up very nicely, but it's very deeply satisfying. Every night and every morning I am waking up I'm looking forward to the day. I'm like excited to see what we can do and how we can expand it and what is happening. I in fact look forward to each day now. I mean,
Amazing.
It's
amazing. I can almost feel your positivity on the screen. And Kailash, what about you? Besides exhaustion, which I can imagine in the Delhi heat, और क्या feelings आती है when you finally go to bed at 1 o'clock at night?
इस जॉब के लिए मैंने क्यों सोचा एंड बाकी ये सब लोगों ने और क्यों नहीं सोचा. So this is the second thought. Third thought is कि like ये टाइम है क्यों, ऐसा क्यों है कि these people don't have enough money to they can bring food to their family members. ऐसा क्यों है, ऐसा society में इतने up and downs क्यों. There is definitely a lot of mixed thought. So, and then there is a definitely satisfaction where I was, definitely sense of little bit of proud of myself कि हम कर पा रहे. And then there is one thought कि इस proud के पीछे कितने सारे लोग और involved हैं. ये definitely मैं अकेला नहीं कर सकता. यहाँ पे बहुत सारे लोग साथ में आए हैं, सब लोगों ने सपोर्ट किया, एक तरीके से फेथ किया है कि this team is doing something good and that's they decided to contribute to it. So it's a sense of kind of satisfaction कि there is a lot of people out there who's believing me, this guy is doing at least something good with so yeah, that is the I think summary to it.
Amazing.
But generally मैं ज़्यादा सोचता नहीं हूँ. I just
you just do it. You're like the just do it variety.
I hope कि दोबारा से ये टाइम ना आए कि लोगों को लाइन में ऐसे खड़ा होना पड़े रोज. Like now I remember these faces जो रोज लाइन में खड़े होके खाना मांगते हैं. I really want कि ऐसा कभी समय ना आए कि ये लोग लाइन में खड़े होके खाना मांगते हैं. इनके पास इतना इनफ हो, सोसाइटी में इतने अप एंड डाउन्स ना हो कि ये रोज इनको लाइन में आना पड़े, चाहे कोई भी क्राइसिस आए, कुछ भी क्राइसिस आए, इनको लाइन में ना आना पड़े. I thought कि ऐसा कुछ समय आना चाहिए.
I really do wish that policies change, right? The people that build our houses, drive our cars, take care of our kids, cook for us. The minute a city shuts down, a city that they serve, they can't be thrown out of that city. Now, the public policy needs to change for that not to happen at a large scale, right? But I mean, that's not necessarily very directly in our hands. So whatever folks like you can do till that time and whatever us we can support it in whichever way is what we can do for now. I want to just quickly close this by summing up for everyone almost the gigantic nature of the operations that Kailash and Shilpi are running. Guys, in less than 3 weeks, they have gone from 500 meals to close to, if you do all the math, almost 5,000 meals. And some of these 2,400 of this is daily. The rest of it is, so think of it as half of it is daily, half of it is weekly. But essentially 5,000 people are eating and surviving because of them and their amazing friends and some support that they have received. How can you help them? Because they need help, because they are already thinking of scaling this, and clearly the situation is going to be a little longer than we thought it would be, right? So you can definitely help them with money, but more than that, they need all arms on deck. So if you live around where they live around, where the cooking etc is happening, and you can help with that, if that distance isn't a problem for you, please come forward. If you have vehicles that they can use, please come forward. If you know of restaurants that can, give them 4 to 8 hours for the cooking, that will be a godsend for them. And if you can't do that, if there is stuff like burners or vessels etc that you can help with, that will be great. Anything right now counts, because essentially you are saving 5,000 lives. So I don't know what could be more attractive than that. That's the best thing ever, right? Thank you, Shilpi. Thank you, Kailash, for agreeing to be part of Unlock. I sincerely hope that after having heard the both of you speak, people realize that there is so much that you can do within our limited capacities, and how quickly in 3 weeks you can scale it to a very meaningful experience, how people come together during adversity, and how really you can be locked but you may choose to not be down, right? Thank you, guys. And I don't know, besides wishing you all the best and hoping that you get a lot of support after this, I'm amazed at what you guys do, and congratulations and thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you so much for removing the time to put these stories together. It's really commendable what you're doing, because it takes a lot of time and effort, since you're already working from home, to put it together at such a short notice. The way you have figured how to help us with Zoom, how to use, and all of that. Like really, I really appreciate what you're doing, and to kind of ensure that our work and other people's work on similar lines is reaching out to so many out there. It's really very inspiring, and gives us the that little kick that we need every moment to kind of keep doing this. And
hey man, that's the least I can do. That's the least. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kailash.
Okay, bye.